Good afternoon and welcome to Deck Tech Daily. If you are new to Magic the Gathering or need a little bit of guidance, then this is the channel for you. Today we are looking at a mono-red Scalding deck, I call it, because it revolves heavily around this card here, Scalding Viper. It's a 2-cost that whenever an opponent casts a spell of mana value 3 or less, this creature deals 1 damage to that player. And it has the sorcery ability of return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. So very versatile, this card. Also cards like Razorkin, Needlehead, whenever an opponent draws a card, it deals 1 damage to them. So basically, whenever our opponent casts a spell, they get 1 damage. They draw a card, they get 1 damage. So you see how these two can definitely work great in sync with each other. Other cards like Scream and Nemesis, great for any mono-red deck in this format. The Nova Hellkite, flying and haste, and whenever it enters, it deals 1 damage to a creature opponent controls, and you can warp it in for 3. Witchstalker Frenzy, 5 damage to target creature. Other removal spells such as Obliterating Bolt, Lightning Strike, and Burst Lightning for the weaker creatures. And of course we have Hired Claw. Whenever it attacks, it does 1 damage to target opponent. Burnout Bastronaut, which this card can be pretty useful once you get to max speed. It gets double strike. You can pay 2 for it to get the +1 until end of turn. Then we have 6, 18, 23 lands to be specific. Yeah, let's see how it goes. Our first match in the best of 1 for the mono-red Scalding in the standard format. Let's see how we do. We go first. Yes, I shall definitely keep. I'm unsure if they are playing a creature deck or anything. So, yeah, this enters tapped if I control more than 2 land. Okay, so next, in turn. Now let's see what they do. They're playing a blue deck, so probably no smaller creatures, at least at the moment. Okay, so definitely going to save this for the moment. I'll play this first, the Razorkin. They're going to draw, and this will do 1 damage because they drew. Hopefully this can stay on the field for at least a few turns. Okay, so far they've played nothing. Now, there's a good chance they might have some kind of removal or bounce spell. But I'm going to play this anyways. I'm hoping it'll be just a bounce that they'll play. Swing for 5. Yes. So deals 5 damage to target tapped creature. Oh, they're targeting the Razorkin. Yeah, they didn't want to target Nemesis because it's effective. If it's dealt damage, I can do that same damage to any other target. And if it's a player, they can't gain life for the rest of the game. So instead they use Pearlious Snare to exile it. Okay. I can bounce that back. Let me think about this for a second. So I'll play a land. What are my options? I only have 1 blue mana, so... Yeah, and that cost 3, so they'll have to pay 3 in order to get rid of Viper, and its ability will trigger doing at least 1 to the opponent. So yeah, well, actually, yeah, I'm just using its sorcery, so it won't be on the field. So I'm going to target the Snare. Nemesis will come back to me. And then I'll play Viper. Okay. I'll swing for 3. Now if they want to play the Pearlious Snare again, they're going to have to suffer at least 1 damage. Yep, they'll play it, so that'll trigger. And now they just wasted 3 of their mana this turn. Oh, they targeted Nemesis. Okay. So I can do the same trick again. Or do I want to play... Yeah, let's do it 1 more time. Because, yeah, it's not a legendary, so I can have as many of them on the field as I want. So I'm going to bounce this back to their hand again. Get the Nemesis back. And play Viper. Now swing for 5. I still have the Burst Lightning in hand. Now if they want to play the Pearly Snare, they're going to have to suffer 2 damage. Oh, they played Pinnacle. That's a better card, actually, but they still exile all artifacts and creatures of mana value 2 or less. Okay. Well, so the Vipers will get exiled, but not the Nemesis. Okay. Plains card. Okay, so they get to search for a Plains. They have no more mana left, though. Okay. So, I'm going to... I don't think there's anything they can do, so... Well, let me just warp it in. It doesn't matter. And I'll swing for 7. Nothing. So there you go. Excellent demonstration on how this deck works. I actually think that was a perfect demonstration of how this deck works, actually. Okay, round 2 of the mono-red Scalding deck in the standard format. Let's see how we go. How we do. Get to go first. Okay. I shall, yeah, definitely keep. I'll start off with the Hired Claw, of course. Looks like our opponent, yeah, they mulliganed, it looks like. So, yeah, play Hired Claw. Now let's see what kind of deck we're going up against. Forest. I'll save the Lightning Strike for later. And I'll activate Hired Claw's effect to put the +1/+1 counter on it. Dredger's Insight. So yeah, Mills, so it's probably looking for like this card because of its flashback, the Esper's Origins. Get Starting Town out. I'll definitely play a Nemesis. That'll trigger doing 1. Now they're down to almost halfway. Okay. Should I... Just curious if I should be worried about any... Play another land. Should I bounce that back to hand with the Viper? Also curious if he has any field wipes. You know, I'm just going to go all in. Screaming Nemesis. Yeah, so now I can just play Lightning Strike and finish him off next turn. Okay, so he's going to station it, I believe. Yep. So now he can play... Hopefully he doesn't have, like, this one. Valgavoth. Sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. If a card you didn't control would be put into the opponent's graveyard, exile instead. That's for the... Okay. Well... Let me just do this right to his fate. Yep, that worked. Yeah, this is a very Kona... This is a... Definitely going to be used a lot, because at the beginning of the second main phase, if Kona's tapped, you may put a permanent card from your hand on the battlefield. A good card is Omniscience. That's basically lets you play cards without paying their mana cost. I've seen that strategy used before, so I was hoping he wasn't going to play that. So thankfully he didn't. Let's see if we can get to Platinum Rank 2. Okay, so round 3 of the mono-red Scalding deck in the standard format. The opponent goes first. I shall keep. Let's see. see. Probably, potentially another mono red deck. Start off with the Burnout Bastronaut. Engine started. Yep, they're definitely mono red, it looks like. So enters, do create a treasure token. Okay, so he gets a treasure token. Play another. Do I want to burst lightning him? When a dragon control enters, put a +1/+1 on Sarkon until the end of turn. And gains flying. Yeah. Well, I'll save it. So, okay, I'm going to save one. Swing with the Bastronauts. I could play a third one, but yeah, I'm going to get rid of him, so I'm going to save the mountain. Now, let's see what he plays first. Hopefully I can get him to play a spell that, like, buffs Sarkon. If this mana is spent on drag, it gains haste until end of turn. Yeah, he's swinging. I guess I'll get rid of him now. Okay. So now I'll send Nemesis out. Does he have something? Why? Well, he does have the treasure token and that. Could he maybe flat? Oh, a braid. Okay. 3 damage to target creature. Well, yeah, I can do it straight to him. Now he can't gain life for the rest of the game. I guess he just wanted to hurry and get rid of it. Also, he's mono red. He probably doesn't have any cards that cause him to gain life. So this is what he wanted to play. Bone Horde Dracosaur, flying first strike. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile 2 cards to your library. You may play them this turn. Okay. I could, let me see, bounce him and then play the Viper, because if he wants to bring him back, it's more than 3 mana value, so he'll have to take 1 damage. How do I want to do this? You know, let me get this down. Actually, because I don't have max speed yet. All of these will get double strike once I get max speed, which is just 1 more, so... Let me go ahead and... yeah, bounce the dragon back to his hands. You know, now that I think about it, that was a mistake. I should have waited till I could both bounce it back and play the Viper in the same turn. Because now he's going to play him again, but I'm going to miss the 1 damage I could have done by having Viper on the field. Ooh, great move. 1 damage to each creature. Okay. Curious if he has anything. Yeah, let me turn this into a creature and just swing with that. Okay, so he's bringing the dragon back out. He's going to swing for 5. Everything's tapped, so I know he can't play anything to interrupt me. How do I want to do this, though? Okay, yeah, submit 0. I think I got this. Here's what I'll do. I'll swing, and this has vigilance, and it's still a land, so I can still... And I'll target my opponent with a lightning strike. There you go. Victory, 3 in a row. Definitely doing good with this deck. I definitely like it. Okay, round 4 of the mono-red Scalding deck in the standard format. Get to go first this time. I shall keep. Looks like they mulliganed. Okay, so start out with Bastronaut, of course. Escape Tunnel. They might have a landfall kind of deck. Hard to say. I'll save the Lightning Strike and just activate this to give it the +1. Why do people do that? They'll like play like Fabled Passage or in this case Escape Tunnel and then like sacrifice it on your opponent's turn. Like he could have did that like I guess because it feels like they're interrupting me or something. Like, I don't know. Like, it literally did nothing. It's not like he had any sort of instant or removal or anything he could have played to disrupt me. It just kind of was an annoying thing to do. I don't fully understand it. So, yeah. I'll swing for 1. And in the turn with Razorkin. Like, that only makes sense if... like, they're doing it as a landfall trigger for, like, a Tifa Lockhart or something. Where, or, like, this one, Mossborn Hydra, where whenever a land enters, it gets a +1. But, like, there was no point in the way he did it. Like, you're supposed to save that and then use it so you could boost Mossborn Hydra. Like, I don't get why they, like, do that. Okay, so anyways. This cost for each that attack this turn. Debating if I should use Lightning Strike or the Witch Stalker Frenzy to get rid of the Hydra. I could also play Nemesis. If I attack with 3, this will only be 1. You know? Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll swing with all 3. He's not going to block. Because that's like his main strategy right there. Now, yeah, max speed, so Bastronaut will get double strike. Now, before I end my turn, I'll, for just a 1 cost, and yeah, I'll get rid of the Hydra. He drew a card. And I'll save this to see what he plays next turn. And he quit. That is one big issue with the landfall decks. Is most of their strategy revolves around cards like this, the Mossborn Hydra, and cards like Tifa Lockhart. So like if they get removed, like that's it. Their strategy's like over. Round 5 of the mono-red Scalding deck in the standard format. Let's see if we can get 5 wins in a row. Go first. I guess I shall keep. I would have preferred at least 1 mountain, but starting town will have to do. And Soulstone Sanctuary can be pretty useful later on, since it can become a 3/3 creature. That actually saved us very much in, what was the 2nd or 3rd match. So, play Hired Claw first. Yeah, starting town is pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color. So it's very useful. Okay, so... Enters tapped. It's a swamp and forest. I shall play a second Hired Claw and attack since I have 2 lizards. Yeah, it'll do 2 damage and swing for 1. So now he's down to 17. Llanowar Elves. I don't think I want to waste the Viper's Sorcerer on bouncing Llanowar Elves back. So instead, I kind of want to get the Bastronaut out just so I can get the speed started, to start your engines. But yeah, I'm going to put pressure on him. Just get Nemesis out and swing with everything. So yeah, now he's halfway dead. I'll wait till he plays something more meaningful, then I'll bounce it back to the hand with the Viper. Destroy non-land permanent. Okay. Okay. How do I want to do this? I think it's too late in the game to even worry about getting max speed now. Instead, what I think I'm going to do... I'm going to swing with everything. That'll do 2. And I'll activate the Hired Claw's ability for both of them. So now they're both 2/3s. So if he doesn't block... Yeah, so now he's down to 4. So now let's see if he plays anything that can save him. Yeah, this is a common one. Each turn it puts X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is this creature's power. Ouroboreoid, however you say it. Okay. So... yeah, he has nothing... he doesn't have any mana, so he can't play. So, and I have Lightning Strike. I'm just going to swing with these 2. He can only block. Yeah, I'll save all my mana for the moment. Yeah, he quit. Yay, tier 2, finally. Well, that was a great performance from this deck, I think. It was 5 wins in a row. Got us a Platinum tier 2. Potential improvements from the deck. I do think if our opponent gets like later in the game like a really strong creature with like 8 toughness or something out, the strongest we have is like this Fiery Annihilation deals 5 damage to target creature, or Windstalker Frenzy, yeah, 5 damage to target creature. So if it's more than 5, it's going to be difficult to remove. So that's definitely a weakness, I would say. There's also not much in this deck that can like... well, Scalding Viper can bounce anything other than lands back to our opponent's hand, but it doesn't get rid of things permanently. But it is a temporary save, assuming we can defeat the opponent in time. But other than that, yeah, I think it's a pretty amazing deck. If there's any suggestions or ways you think that this deck can be improved, feel free to leave it in the comments. And I thank you for tuning in and hope you have a good day.